I'm Destin Harrison, along with Megan Frisbee, and you're listening to the GigSalad Greenroom interviews. Today's guest shares some of GigSalad's own hometown pride. Dana Powell started her career in Springfield, Missouri, and then went on to be in mega hits like Bridesmaids, Modern Family, and Arrested Development. In this episode, Dana tells us about when she nearly kissed Kristen Wiig, her transition from Springfield to LA, and her struggle to shake her Midwest accent while on set. Dana Powell, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to Springfield.
Yay!
You're Springfield native, correct?
Yes, born and raised.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I have a story to share with you.
You do?
I did, yeah. So I was watching Modern Family. See where this is going already?
Yes.
I was watching Modern Family on Monday, and I was watching that episode where Pam comes and stays with Cam and Mitchell, and you're both wearing respirators.
Yes.
And so I was watching it, and I was cracking up. And it's so funny. That's one of my favorite episodes of one of my favorite shows. I was enjoying it so much. And then I got an email from the Mystery Hour, and I looked through and I was like, oh, who am I going to be interviewing? And your name came up, and I was like, where's Ashton Kutcher? I'm being punked, right? But I'm so excited. So we're so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
You've been in Modern Family, obviously, The Office,
Yes.
Arrested Development,
Yes.
pretty much every one of my favorite shows.
Really?
Yeah, for
Mine
sure.
too. I'm so lucky that I get to work on.
If you had to pick a favorite, which one would be your favorite set to have worked on so far?
My favorite set, actually, probably Veep, which is on HBO, because that shot in Baltimore, which is where they shoot like House of Cards and The Wire, and there's a lot of crossover where like on Veep they had the set of the presidential offices, but House of Cards had the presidential motorcade. So the entire set that I worked on for a couple of weeks looked like I was in the White House all the time. And then the motorcade, looking like the president was came over. So that was pretty cool. I felt very presidential on that job.
That's awesome.
Did you ever get into character to the point where you're like asking people to tie your shoes for you and stuff like that?
Oh gosh, no. I feel like I'm the person that they're like, do you want water? And even if I'm thirsty, I'm like, no, I'm okay. And I'll go get it myself.
How would you describe the kind of characters that you play?
I go from one extreme to the other. I either play very sweet and very stupid, or I play extremely aggressive and horrible. One of the two. Like, I don't think I ever play anything in between. It's the extremes for sure.
Is there one that you prefer to play over the other?
No, I really like both, especially if I get to, if I do one thing for a long time and don't get to do the other, then I get a little bit like, okay, whatever. But if I get to do both, then I feel like there's some variety.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a compliment, but you play both terrifyingly well.
Thank you. There's probably a little bit of me in all of that.
And you write a lot of
I do, yeah.
the material that you play as well, right?
I do, yeah. I was in the Groundlings I was in the Sunday company for the Groundlings for a year and a half, and that's set up very much like Saturday Night Live. So week to week, on a Wednesday we would pitch. They would choose what we were going to do for that Sunday. Thursday we'd rewrite. Sunday afternoon we'd rehearse, and Sunday night we would do it. So it was just constant. I was bringing in probably 5 to 8 pieces a week of new material.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And did you study for that, or did you just pick it up?
I went to MSU, which back in the wagon cover days was Southwest Missouri State. So I have a theater degree. And then when I went to Los Angeles, I started doing, comedy, improv, and sketch. And I went through the Groundlings program, which took a long time. It's a very popular place to go. So it took me about 7.5 years to get fully through.
Yeah, we actually just interviewed Mitch Silpa.
Yes.
Who was in Groundlings at the same time as you?
He was my director. He was my teacher for advance, and then he was my director for Sunday company twice, I think. He's a hero of mine. That man is one of the funniest people ever.
Oh, the best.
He's the best. And my first class with him, he shot down my first sketch, and I was like, come on, dude. But I thought I was good, and he was right. I was totally wrong, looking back. But I was like, that guy does not like me, and he's like one of my favorite people ever. He's a comedic genius for sure.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's
so fun to be around.
Definitely made me a large part of the writer I am today, for sure.
That's awesome. He's such a great guy.
Yeah.
And you guys worked together in Bridesmaids.
We did,
right?
yes.
You're in the same scene.
In the same scene, yes.
Which is so funny.
Yeah, we
funny.
worked on the plane together. He wouldn't be, what do you call it? What's the politically correct term?
Not a stewardess.
Flight
attendant.
Flight attendants.
Yeah.
We were the flight attendants together. So whenever we go places, like we used to joke, in Los Angeles, they have a lot of outdoor movies. And they were going to show Bridesmaids downtown, and we were joking, saying we were going to show up together and greet people.
That would be so funny.
Do you watch your own movies? Do you like to?
I love Bridesmaids. I don't like watching myself at all, really.
Yeah.
But in anything, maybe. So, no.
Is that because you're in it? Like, do you just not enjoy watching yourself?
I don't enjoy watching myself, no. I can't watch it as a viewer. I usually critique everything. I hate my voice. Also, when
everybody hates their voice.
think so too.
I'm going to have to edit everybody's voice at the end of this.
Yeah,
and I'm
make
going to
it
cringe
sound
the whole time.
like sophisticated and not like a cartoon character.
You're listening to the GigSalad Greenroom interviews. Whether you're planning a birthday party or a wedding or a corporate event, GigSalad has everything that you need all in one place. There are over 580 different types of entertainment and event services that you can find and book right from your computer or smartphone. Just go to gigsalad.com to find out how we can help you book something awesome. So going back to Bridesmaids, we asked Mitch about this, and so I'm interested what your take is too. He told us that Kristen
Wiig, yeah.
Kristen Wiig was improvising a lot of the stuff she was doing.
Definitely.
Which she's just off of it, super inebriated. And the scene is hilarious, but how did you keep from cracking? Did you?
No, not very often. I heard a story one time from Steve Carell from The Office, who, not personally, I make it sound like we were buddies. I read it somewhere. But he was talking about cracking, when somebody's doing, a scene, and he was saying how rude it is because they may not be able to get that moment back. And they've worked so hard for that bit of comedy, and it's some of their best work, and you killed it. And I don't ever want to be responsible for that, so I really, and at the Groundlings, they really train us to not crack. And so, inevitably it happens sometimes, but I think pretty much on that shoot, we stayed fairly good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard.
Do you have to send your mind away to kind of...
Yeah, you really have to sink into the character and go, no, I'm mad at her right now. So that you feel that for real instead of like, oh my God, you're so hilarious.
Yeah.
My audition with her was crazy. When I auditioned for the film, we improvised a scene together where by the end, we were literally face to face. Our nose and lips were touching and we were talked like that for 2 minutes straight. And then we were done.
So you kissed Kristen Wiig,
for 2 minutes. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So back to Modern Family again, because you're originally from Springfield, Missouri, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Which is the best city in the world. Obviously,
it made us, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I actually went to MSU.
You did?
For a year too, yeah.
Oh.
Not for anything as cool as theater. I was a communications major, but...
Oh, well, you were in the same building, right? Craig Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I spent a lot of hours there.
Yeah.
I've missed a lot of hours that I was supposed to be there.
Oh, me too. Listen, it took me 6 years to get my degree, so
but you made it.
I made it.
I'm still in school.
Are you?
14 years later.
Good for you. Good for you.
Working hard.
Yeah, you're still going.
Working really hard. So you're from Springfield, and Eric is from
Kansas City,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and both of your characters are from
Missouri.
Yeah. Did that play into the script at all, or did it just happen like that?
Oh yeah, no. I think that originally they wanted his character to be from Kansas, and he was like, I know you guys are going to make fun of people from there and stuff. So he was like, Missouri. Because he has no problem making fun of me.
We'll take it.
Yeah. He's like, I'll say whatever about her, but not my people.
I feel like the thing about Missouri, though, is somebody makes a joke about Missouri being super hick or super trashy or something. Oh, and we're like, oh, that's offensive. Yeah, but it's kind of true.
I mean, in some ways it is. But also I get aggravated because it's not like that all the time. We're not like, all the time.
I'm always curious how there are so many accents in
In
Springfield
this
that
area.
are super deep south, and I've lived here my whole life too. And I'm just thinking, how do you have this super deep southern accent? And I just don't. I always wonder about
I've
that. But.
definitely worked to kick my. I think at other points in my life I may have had more of an accent.
Let's hear it.
Some people think I still do. In
Do you get
fact,
that?
yes,
Do you get
in
that?
Bridesmaids, in the trailer, when I look at Kristen Wiig's character and I say, "Ma'am, you're going to have to sit down."
You're right.
Yeah, when I said that, they were like, "Oh, that accent's perfect." And I was like, "What accent are you talking about?"
That's so true. I never.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually thought it was kind of a southern accent you were doing too in that
Yeah,
scene.
no,
That's just
Just
you.
happens.
Mama Dana.
So, do you have anything coming out in the future that we should look out for? Anything that you're really excited about?
Well, my writing partner and I are working right now. We have a couple of scripts that we've written, screenplays, and we're working on trying to get financing for a film that would star me.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and we want to shoot it here in Springfield.
Oh my gosh.
This is my new favorite movie. I don't even know what it's about. and
It's
it's my
called
favorite.
Bird Call.
Are you allowed to tell us what it's about at all?
Yeah, it's about, I would be playing this like 30-something woman who used to be very successful at bird calling as a child. And now that she's older, she works at Price Cutter and like just doesn't feel like she has a fulfilling life. So she decides to get back into the world of professional bird calling. And yeah, so it's pretty funny. Kate Flannery from The Office.
Meredith, right?
Would be playing my older sister.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
that
my
is
goodness.
awesome.
And we want to bring it back here to my town to shoot. Like, I feel like, there's bird calling people here for
Okay.
sure. Turkey,
yeah.
duck, everything.
I'm related to a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an amazing world. And so, yeah, I would love to do that. I just booked something with Jeff Garland that hopefully will come out in the next year.
So exciting.
He's from the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a Chicago guy, so he's Midwestern dude. He's awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, auditioning like a regular working actor.
So if you had one piece of advice that you could give to somebody, a GigSalad member or somebody who is working at a community theater and trying to make it to where you are right now, what would that be?
Just go. Like whatever market you want to be in, don't worry about, I think people sometimes are like, I'm going to build up my resume and get experience and then I'll go. None of that matters when you get where you're going. You're going to start over anyway. So just go whatever market you want to be in, New York, LA, I don't know, Seattle. I mean, there's, different markets everywhere, but just go, get started. Don't waste time.
The bad news is that this concludes our podcast for today. But the good news is that we have a whole other episode with Dana Powell, where we played a round of Never Have I Ever with her and Paul Emerson, an actor, writer, and director who's worked alongside Dana in several different projects. In that episode, we get to hear about one of our guests having a gun pulled on them, Paul having his first beer, and Dana's experience wrestling Cam from Modern Family. Paul and Dana both had some really funny stories to share, so you won't want to miss it. And as always, be sure to go to GigSalad.com to find out how we can help you book something awesome. For everyone here in the GigSalad Green Room, I'm Destin Harrison. Thanks for listening.